Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in Waffle County in our Rebuild or Redevelop series. Now, the map is going to look a little different than what we're used to. I have been trying to mess around with some graphic settings and just make the game look a bit nicer. So this is what we have here right now. I've changed tons of different settings for lighting and levels of detail, the shadows. I also finally went around to adding the cube map replacer so that we have this beautiful like cloudy sky. I haven't done much in terms of terrain editing. I want to actually add an additional mountain range, I think, over on this side of the map. It's a little flat for me, but I think that the relight looks pretty nice. I'm still working on getting the exact colors right. Like if we scroll down into here, there are some like whites that are just very, very bright, but for the most part, I'm happy with what we've done. What are we getting into today? First thing I want to do, we're going to jump kind of right in. JMWZ left a comment on the last part that said it doesn't make a lot of sense that this area of Birdsong Heights is known for fishing, but it's named Birdsong Heights. So I'm going to name it. I want to name it Port Song. I think that's a beautiful name for what this area does. So Port Song, as well as we need to place down some kind of disaster memorial. Now I need 500,000 money, have more than 500,000 money. Oh man. Okay, so we can't place this statue yet, this memorial. Why don't we place some kind of small park for now? I'm thinking we could just do like a normal small park until we get $500,000. And when we get that, then we can come back and place something different. Or we could do one of these plazas. Not a huge fan of any of those. I think we do just a regular park for now. It's nothing extravagant or fancy. It's a small park. But we'll do this to commemorate getting through the tsunami in the last part. Or in part 4 that wiped out Birdsong Heights. And then when we were able to unlock the other monument, we can switch to that instead. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna actually bring this just kind of straight along. We'll also bring this straight along. Let's turn on Anarchy and have that just intersect there. We'll bring this straight along, and then we actually have a path here that we can connect to. So we'll bring that over. And then I want to add the same trees, which is not that tree. It's more like this tree. Yes. What is the difference here? Oak, tree with leaves 1, tree with leaves 2. I mean, these are all oaks. So we'll add some oaks throughout this area just so that it's got a little bit of something. I know in the first part, I was trying to get away from putting too many trees because it's an arid environment, but I really enjoy placing down trees. So I think we're going to maybe go back on that. All right, now one thing I want to do is I do want to actually add some additional trees into this area within these buildings. And I'm leaving it on pause right now because I don't want to run up the clock in terms of potentially having another disaster. So we're purposely leaving it on pause for a second, but let me go in here. I'm going to quickly add in some trees to this area and then we'll see what it looks like once I've done that. Okay, so I just went in, I added some trees throughout this area. Let me know what you think before I do it to the rest of the map. I know that we are in an arid, desert, but I would imagine that people here would have yards, so they would want to put some money into the yards and have some nice landscaping. So it might be overkill for this, but I just think it looks so much nicer from when you're up high. You can see all the trees of where the people have, have their lawns and developed their houses. All right, so what are we going to get into now that we've done this? In addition to Port Song, changing the name, I do want to change around what we have going on here. So Joy Build Cities noted that for whenever they're doing their cities, they usually need more than just one fishing harbor to actually service these 2 buildings. So I'm going to get rid of our current fishing harbor, and I want to go in and add a second one, just so that we have additional fish being produced. So let's go ahead and, should I do this first? Actually, you know what? We're going to do this in a moment. I want to start playing with everything unpaused, but to do that, we need to probably build some of these disaster services, just so that we know what's going on with our city. So let's go ahead and unpause it. So if there is a disaster, you know, we'll just deal with it as it comes. The first thing I want to build, we already have this disaster response unit. We built that in the first or a recent part, but we want to build now the short radio mast. So these are going to alert the people that live here when a disaster is coming. So I don't know if this is, yeah, we're going to need 2. Because this one here is only going to cover this portion, and we're going to eventually want to cross over. If I put this here, this is this little interchange. We're going to end up changing this though. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Why don't we place this over here? It's off the highway, and it's in like this industrial area, which eventually might be repurposed. But for now, that'll be powered. It covers everything over this side. And then maybe over on this side, we'll place it over here, I guess by the factory. Rotate it so that this little house piece is facing this way. There we go. All right, so now that covers the whole city. Oh, we're getting some people to upgrade too, which is great. Covers the whole city. And now that we have those, we do need to be able to put down some of the like detection services. Before we do these are the small emergency shelters. They are very expensive. And the problem we're going to have is we have a population of 7,000. These small shelters only hold 1,000 people each. So I would need 8 of them to get everybody safely into a shelter. And that's just not, I mean, 24,000 each. We do not have that kind of budget. I think what I'm most concerned about is tsunamis. So let's place, how much are these? Are they 4,000? All right, let's place one in the middle. We'll place one over here to the right and one over here to the left. And we'll just have 3 detection buoys out there so that if there is a disaster coming, we're safe, or we'll at least have enough time to know. And then we also have a weather radar station. What does this do? Keeps watch on weather patterns, predicts strong thunderstorms and tornadoes, and can even notify you where a storm or tornado will hit. Oh, that's exactly what I want. Where should this go though? I feel like this needs to be on a hill. I don't want to put it, oh no, don't burn down. Where are fire? Oh, here we go. Returning to station. No, put out the fires. We have so many fires. I probably need to do some more of the smoke detector distribution. All right, let's get rid of this landfill. Moving around a bit, but let's get rid of the landfill. We don't need it there. Is that going to mess up any power? No. All right, in terms of a place to put, we could put it over here on this hill. Kind of overlooks everything. I don't want it to be too far away from where we've developed. How flat is this? Okay, it's not that flat. Let's bring this down just a bit. Okay, and then if we were to place a road up here, we'll just do a straight road. Oh, autosave. We'll do a straight road this way. And we'll put our detection system up here. And then we're going to need to power this. And we're going to need water. But I think before we do that, we build our road over to it. I'm going to pause it real quick. We want to come down. I guess we could come off of this road. It doesn't need to be on the main road. So we're going to have this come, I guess, straight on up. Oh, you know what? We've got anarchy on. Turn anarchy off. Get rid of this. Now put in our road. That's not bad. All right, so then we got to get it over there. So I'm just going to kind of wiggle our way over. I don't want it to be perfectly straight. I'm trying to get away from some of these more gridded things. So let's do this. And let's turn in here. We'll send it up. Actually, where's our entrance here? Here's the entrance. All right, let's bring this, I guess, back all this up. We'll come up and down the side here. So if we took this and we went, we curved it down, do a little switchback. We'll bring it along the outside, and I'm going to turn off all these guides. Do a little wiggle. We'll bring it further along and down. Maybe we'll come down like this. And then for this one, bring it down some more. It's a slow descent, but I can't imagine anyone's going to be rushing to get up here. And then if we were to bring this kind of like so, there we go. So now before we go too far away from here, and then we're going to go ahead and get power and water over here, let's take all of these and make our like actual switchback portion of this road all the same height. We're going to use, I think, the lower of the height, and then we'll smooth out these ramps in a second. So we'll take this, bring us to here, and then for these three, let's take this and bring this to here, because you wouldn't actually want to have a change in grade when you're going around the bend. Okay, that's not terrible. It could be worse, but now we've got some detection here. Does this actually work? Oh, I guess we need to like water and power it. So let's do that. I'm just gonna go under the road here really quick. All right, so we've got it watered, and now we need to get some power to it. We're just gonna use this guy. We'll bring this straight across. Actually, this is gonna come straight along. There's nothing in its way. It's a power line. It can go uphill. So now that's watered and powered. Let's hit pause or play. Make sure we have our services reaching. Okay, great. So now we should be able to detect if there's a disaster coming. Let's see. One of these is disaster detection. So now we should be able to see, like, if something's happening, we'll know about it in advance. So we'll see if that works. But now we are ready, I think, for our next disaster. We should build 1 or 2 shelters. We really can't afford it. And this is still filling out. Is there another fire? It's the same fire, just will not go away. So while all that's going, let's go back over here and try to deal with our fishing. So I think we need to get 2 harbors next to each other. So let's make our brush size smaller, like significantly smaller. There we go, like 28 is perfect. All right, we're gonna grab something that's like along the edge here. There we go. And bring it all the way over. And I'm gonna extend this shoreline. We already have this fence that we built in the last part. So we're gonna kind of use that fence. We might extend it a bit longer, but what I'm thinking is, if we take this height here, so to use this sloping tool, you're going to right click on the height you're going to eventually reach, and then you're going to left click on the location that, or the height you're starting at. You should be able to drag right up and make a nice slope. So by doing this, we can then build a nice road that will go up and down. Same over here, so I'll right click on the point I want to reach, left click on the point I'm starting at, and then just hold down left click and drag across. Let's also put in a key while we're standing here. We have these fun, like, new ones. Do we want to try any of these out? What is this? This is a simple seawall. This is a simple seawall fenceless. Yeah, I don't mind the simple seawall fenceless. Okay, now it looks like it has kind of shifted some of our heights here. So let's bring all of this down just a little bit so that we're kind of getting the same elevation. There we go. And then we're going to need to like address some of these other small areas. Like this here needs to be smoothed out for sure. But let's get our roads built in before we do too much of that. Let's put down both of our fishing ports now. So we're going to grab these guys here, the fishing harbor. Now what is this is mainly tuna. Is this blue? What's the pink? Salmon. But ideally where they'll be fishing will be where the tuna is. Where's the tuna one? Anchovy, salmon. Oh my god, is it the last one? Of course it is. All right, so we need to catch 2 million units of fish before we can even unlock that. So for now, we're not going to get it for quite a while. But we'll place 2 of these down. Let's make sure this is the same height as this one. And hopefully that water gets out of here soon. I guess we could change the terrain height and move it. Okay, so let's make sure these stay to the ground. Let's bring a road. I'd say we can probably go ahead and start to curve pretty quickly, but let's bring this out 5 units, and then we'll curve up and in. Okay, and then again, we'll bring this straight out 5 units, and then we'll curve up and in. Okay, not bad. This does look like it dips a bit, which we don't want it to do that. What about this side? It's pretty decent. So then let's use the smoothing tool. Smooth this edge somewhat. And I might even get just a smaller brush with a little bit more fade on it. And then this way the water can kind of get pushed off. And then this side here, let's maybe do a little bit of work here. A little bit of work here on the front side. Now, is that water all the way up? No. We're just fine, but that is a much nicer height. Oh, that looks good. Okay, let's also go in and add... Where is the docks? I want to put back this dock that we had. So we want to place this kind of close to one of these so the boats can still get in. But then we also have these two. What are these? We have a pier and we have another pier. Simple decorative pier, small entertainment radius. Simple decorative pier, small entertainment radius. All right. Simple decorative pier with a small entertainment radius. Oh my gosh, and this is like if you wanted to get your own little boat. Okay, hold on. Get rid of this one. Let's build another one of these over here, although this seems very high up compared to the other one. Oh, there we go. So if you had your own boat, you could bring it down and get in the water and move around. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, get rid of this outdated line. Or an outdated water pipe. Let's go ahead and fill this area with a brand new water pipe. And then both of these are going to need new roots. So let's build their roots. Industries. Here we go. Fishing root. All right. So ideally, I'm going to turn off all the snapping. Ideally, we're going to get really close to 100% efficiency for these roots. If not, exactly 100%. But at the same time, I want them to kind of move in an interesting way. Maybe loop it over this direction. Bring it down. And maybe back around again or something. Alright. Root efficiency 0%. 0%. So once a boat or two goes through, we'll know where we're at. But I think we got a pretty good... If that's already 25%, then we're going to be just fine. Where are you at now? 34, 7. All right, so we'll let those two go. Let's also go in here. One of the new trees or new props we get in the free update with this tall grass cluster, which although I know technically it's not a reed, it's a tall grass, I think this looks perfect to be next to the water. So let's go ahead and just throw down some of these tall grasses. We have a rock sticking through there that we probably need to deal with. And if I turn on the anarchy for this, prop anarchy, regular anarchy, tree anarchy, I still can't get it to go here. All right, we'll use move it to really force it to go in there. Wait, no, shift P, prop anarchy. It's still not gonna let me do it. Let's do this, turn this off. Let's go back to our, still nothing. All right, turn collision off. Or back on, I guess. Let's go back to this. We'll turn off prop anarchy and regular anarchy, and we'll just use the tree anarchy for now. That's a little something. You know, you're down by the water. This is the view you got. I think there's a rock right here in the middle of the street, which is not ideal. Let's go ahead and just move that over here. And you know what? There was a rock over here. Not that. Oh, that we've now lost, which is great. Oh, it moved to here. Beautiful. Grab that. All right, so that's a little bit of something. Now, what's our efficiency here? 83%, 85%. So we could go, I guess, further for these. They're actually not big enough. If we delete this bit and we delete this bit, bring that out just a little bit further, and then we delete these bits. And bring that back around. Then we're good to go. So now we'll see what that updates to. All right, so this looks good. This is all powered, watered. We haven't had any disasters yet, which I was like kind of expecting us to have one. We haven't had one now in 2 episodes. This is functioning properly. We've got our radio signals. We have $67,000. So maybe we will go ahead and place at least one disaster shelter just in case we have one anytime soon. I'm going to place this here, I think in this like kind of industrial-ish area. It's next to our police station, so it's in a decent spot centrally. And it's got good connection here to the highway. So we'll place one this way. And then I think we do want one maybe down for like this side. We haven't zoned this yet, but we're going to want one close by. So maybe we place one of these. Here's a highway exit. Here's also another highway exit. So maybe we place one over here. It's mainly covering Elk Hills, but it will also service all the people living here. We could afford one more. Maybe we place it near the high school. Kind of tuck it away. We could still get a road behind here if we wanted to. Yeah, let's do that. Also, seeing this now, it's just absolutely random. And we don't have to keep this. But what if... What if this area here... This is going to be like really strange. But what if this area was set up like this? With 2 one-ways. Why? I don't know. Why not? And we have these 2 runways here. This road here, like we had before, would kind of come diagonally through. I guess you would want this to come down this way, so really it would need to be flipped if we were going to do this. I don't know. Why not? And we can even put a connection here in the middle so that you can get around and loop back around if you need to. Ooh, we're having a power issue. Are we not making enough? All right, we're not making enough. Also, that's flooded. So that might be something we need to address. How much is this guy here, this brick powerhouse? $50,000. Right, we're not exactly there yet. What happened to all the money? Oh, I guess we spent it all on shelters. Delete this guy. This can go. It's empty. We're gonna have an issue if we can't get more money in here so that we can build another power station. Because these guys are gonna start going abandoned. What's flooded? Ooh, this whole side is flooded actually. Let's raise these up to this point. Let's raise this one up just a bit too. Maybe we'll raise this edge up as well. $50,000, we can't afford to do that just yet, so we might just have some rolling blackouts for a moment until we can afford to fix all this. Is this still going to be flooded? The water just changes height so dramatically. Like right here, it's super low, and then here, it's far higher. All right, let's speed this up. Let's let it get moving. Let's get some extra people moving in here. We still have some demand for residential, so more people are going to fill in these houses, which is more tax income. 30,000, we're almost there. I do want to build this new one I downloaded. So it looks like a brick powerhouse, and it's similar size to some of our buildings here. So it'll look kind of similar to like these brick industrial buildings that we currently have in this area. So it'd blend in quite nicely. And I think we might even bring it, if we brought a road straight off of here. We're going to want to go around this, like that's just a given. Although some of these trees are directly in the road, so maybe we move these 2 just up out of the way. Or put the trees on the sidewalk like that. And just kind of loop this around. There we go. All right. Back here could go this brick power station. 58, perfect. So let's go ahead and place this down. How's it look? Oh, that's perfect. It blends in very nicely. And we can put a path right behind here. Here to here. Let's turn off road guidelines. Bring it over to here. And then we could fill this with extra parking, which I think would be a great way to fill this space. I have been trying to make my own parking lots. How do they look? They look fine. They look like parking lots. Let's move all 3 of them over. We'll place them here right against this edge. And then we will extend this pathway just to connect up. And then let's put in just 1 or 2 trees over here. Nothing fancy, nothing large. Just some overgrowth around the area. Okay. And now, ooh, fish sold last week, 20, tourists last week. It looks like operating normally. All right, do we have anyone coming to this factory? Not yet, which is really unfortunate. We're gonna move it across the street and then move it right back. My hope in doing that, though, is that maybe it'll help it operate a bit normally, but we finally have people at the fish market, which is fantastic. So eventually that will work. I think that's where we're going to leave this part here. We now have our disaster services, although we had no disasters yet, which I guess is a good thing. But we've got buoys in the water, and we have our weather tower. We have 2 shelters, which is not nearly enough for the 8,000 people we have living here, but we will eventually reach it. And we only need a few more to reach our next population milestone. So in the next part, I think we'll fill out Elk Hills, and then we will probably want to start thinking about some public transit, because right now we don't actually have any public transit for the city. So in between these parts, though, let me know what you think about this addition of the trees into this area. I just feel like it fills it out much nicer and makes it feel like it's actually a small little, settlement. These people have been here for a while. But if you don't like how it looks in terms of the map theme, I understand that we can maybe not do it for these other areas. But before I do the rest of the map, I want to see what you guys think. But guys, that'll be where we leave this part here. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.